to go. Missed tackle there on Van Meiden. Gets a good gain on first down. Gains about 7 on that play. So 2nd and 3 for the Stampede after the Fargo Invaders. Turnover on downs on that last drive. Valentine looking deep. Got a man out wide left. Van Meiden once more. As we get our feet going one more time. So 1st and 10 for the Stampede at their own 47-yard line. Valentine handoff up the middle, gains a couple there. It's like James on the carry.
Smith on the tackle for Fargo.
So 2nd and 8. Stampede kind of pushing the tempo with their offense. Pass outside once again, playing off of that outside wide receiver. Is able to catch it and get upfield.
Ford makes the tackle, but not after a first down.
So the Stampede moving the ball, taking advantage of that cushion that's being provided by the Invaders secondary. Valentine looking to keep this drive going. Fakes the handoff, pass complete over the middle. Broken tackles, still going down the field. Fargo trying to rip the ball out before they stop the play. Looks like he's down to the 20-yard line.
And those quick throws are causing issues for Fargo right now, right down the middle. That's a nice throw, though, with good speed and precision.
Absolutely. Valentine is taking what the Fargo Invaders defense is giving him. He's now up to 13 to 25 for 122 yards, almost 100 yards passing in the second half already. Valentine looks to the right, throws it out there, pass is complete, down the sideline, pushed out of bounds by Mike Ford, inside the 5-yard line, down to the 3-yard line.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's 5 straight completions for Valentine.
I believe so. Marching the team down the field after taking the lead on it. Previous possession. Valentine lighting it up here in the second half. Inside the 5-yard line of the Fargo Invaders. Handoff, this time to James, up the middle. Hit hard. Short of the goal line, inside the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal for the Stampede. Under 2 minutes in the third. So the Stampede look like they're bringing out their heavy personnel. Extra linemen lining up at tight end. Snap up the middle. James tries to dive into the end zone, and he's in. 6 more points for the Sioux City Stampede.
They've really answered the bell in the second half. After that first half, Fargo was all over Sioux City, but a couple of touchdowns really changing the momentum of this game here in the second half.
Absolutely. What was once a 9-3 lead for the Fargo Invaders now is a 16-9 lead for the Sioux City Stampede, pending the extra point. 2 back-to-back excellent drives for the Stampede, picking apart that secondary right now. Invaders are going to have to get some pressure on that quarterback, try and get that under control. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 1:17 to go in the third quarter, Sioux City now leads Fargo 17-9 here from Memorial Field in Sioux City, Iowa.
14 straight points for Sioux City. How does Fargo respond? That's the big question.
John Bowney has been largely held in check.
In the second half, I think he had 80 yards in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll see what the stats bring
Big
up.
touchdown, but since that touchdown,
He's still stuck at 5 catches and 80 yards here in the second half. So he has not been able to be a factor. One of Fargo's best weapons has been held in check. So once again, Fargo is going to get the ball back. Still only a touchdown game, but they need to get some momentum back, and they also need to give their defense a breather to kind of regroup here a little bit after back-to-back touchdown drives by the Sioux City Stampede. Hasn't been one big play to give up the touchdown. It's been two somewhat methodical at times drives just going down the field.
And I think it starts, with their quarterback just making the right reads.
Yep.
Throwing underneath, and now it's time for Fargo. You know, they've got to get something offensively. Hopefully some quick throws underneath, find some confidence again, and protect the ball.
Sioux City set to kick this one off again. Perkins and Priestley back deep once again. Another kind of a squib kick. It's going to go out of bounds at the 31. That'll bring up a penalty flag.
I'm not sure it hit a player, so I don't think that's going to be a penalty then.
I don't think it hit a penalty. I don't think it hit a player.
It did. It hit.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it hit one of the up men.
Oh, I did not see that. My bad.
No worries.
So 1st and 10 for the Invaders.
A minute 17 left in the third quarter.
Trying to get their offense in gear. They had a pretty productive second quarter. Obviously, this is kind of the same way it started for the Fargo Invaders offense to start the game in the first quarter, where they didn't get a lot of things going. And now, at least the last drive, they did move the ball into scoring range, but unfortunately could not convert on a 4th and 5. So the Invaders set to take over the ball once again here in the second half, trailing 17-9. Fakes the handoff to Brandon Johnson gets the pass out to John Bonney down the sideline, and out of bounds, enough for a Fargo Invaders first down.
Again, good play call. That time crossing route left to right for Bounty. Picks up a nice first down.
Absolutely. Clock stops with 1:10 to go in the third quarter as John Bonney stepped out of bounds. Be nice to get, obviously, Javante Johnson some more confidence on this drive. See some positive results moving the ball down the field. Even better if we get 6 points out of the deal. Johnson takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Jones, throws it out, just kind of whips that ball out there. Penalty flag comes in late.
It was a screen pass left flat for Brandon Jones, but over his head.
Might be an ineligible man downfield is what they're going to call on this one.
It's possible.
Ineligible man.
So as we've come to see this day, the referees have to discuss things and then mark off the penalty.
Holding call against the Fargo Invaders.
10-yard penalty marks it all the way back to the 31-yard line. So that hold happened behind the line of scrimmage, so
after the penalty, first down and 23.
Ends up about a 13-yard penalty.
Flag on the play.
I think it's encroachment against Sioux City. No?
I think that the snap actually wins, so.
Oh, false start.
Yep. False start on the offense. Offense is all kind of out of sorts here in the second half as the Sioux City Stampede players dance in the secondary.
On their own 26-yard line.
So Fargo moving backwards. Fakes the handoff. Paul is still loose. They're going to call that a catch and a fumble. Kevin Irby on the recovery.
Heads up play there by Irby.
Great hustle.
So it looks as though pass was complete to Nick Jackson.
Pass was complete to Nick Jackson and recovered by Kevin
And so the fumble ball came out and recovered by Kevin Irby. They'll mark it back to the spot of the fumble, not where he recovered it. So positive yards on that play brings up
on their own 40-yard line.
2nd and 13. Handoff to Brandon Jones. Nowhere to go there. Breaking tackles, still unfortunately nowhere to go except for backwards.
Brandon Jones, the ball carrier.
Yeah, he got swarmed up immediately. Nowhere to go.
Brought down by Tyrone.
All there was green grass and yellow jerseys there for Brandon. Nowhere to go from there. That brings up 3rd and long now for the Invaders.
Not where you want to be for Fargo. And again, we've talked about it earlier. You got to win on early downs. And here in the second half, they've not.
They have not been able to get everything consistently going. That time is going to run out now in the 3rd quarter. So hopefully, with the change of directions, that'll be a good sign of things to come for the Invaders here going to the 4th. But after 3 quarters, your score: Sioux City Stampede 17, Fargo Invaders 9. Do you want to throw an add up, or are we?
Sure, we can. What do you want to do?
What should we do? Discovery benefits one more time.
We should do Glacial Peak.
Oh, Glacial Peak Therapy, although I don't have a read for that one.
We do somewhere.
We do somewhere? I don't know
It
if
was
I
in
have.
an email. Well, let's just.
Let me see if I have that. Hold on. That's Tailgate Masters, Fargo Chair Runners. No, I don't have that one. Glacial Peak Cryotherapy. Go there for all of your cryotherapy needs. If you're an athlete, help recover faster, quicker. Go there, get the cryotherapy to be able to get your icing, get your body feeling right so that you can get back on the playing field, the court, the golf course, whatever it is. Good for athletes of all ages, shapes, and sizes. That's Glacial Peak Cryotherapy. Check them out in Fargo, North Dakota. Eventually I'll find wherever that read went. As we get set for the 4th quarter, the mood is severely changed in favor of the Sioux City Stampede. After a 9-3 halftime lead for the Invaders, it is now 17-9 in favor of the Sioux City Stampede. Fargo facing a 3rd and long, probably about 3rd and 19, trying to keep the chains moving and get into scoring position, because if their defense is unable to stop Sioux City, we could get ourselves in a bit too big of a hole.
And the problem here is that you're in 3rd down and long.
Yes.
And your quarterback, when he's thrown it up there, he's been picked off. So it's just a dangerous spot to be in for Fargo.
Really need to be able to have a play where the receiver can make a play on the ball and then make something happen after the catch. But that has not been the case in the second half.
Stampede fans, last call for the Firehouse Beer Tent. Last call for the Firehouse Beer Tent.
So here we go. 4th quarter set to begin.
Still available, last call.
Fargo trailing 17-9 after the Stampede have scored back-to-back touchdowns.
Ron, I will let you know when the clock operator is back and ready to go.
I'm ready.
Okay, we're ready.
I would definitely stay with that.
So here we go. Everyone is back and ready to roll.
3rd down and 18.
Johnson back. The throw. Oh. Pass intended for Kevin Irby. Safety read that. Mike Trobow
By number 18, Mike Trobow.
making a play. Sniff that one out. Brings up 4th and long for the Invaders. We'll have to send in Lazante here to punt. Try and pin the Stampede back deep in the hopes that their defense can kind of regroup and get back to stopping them like they did in the first half.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Fargo. It was a quick slant for Irby, who's been quiet here in the second half. But try to force it in there, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted, too.
Yes, absolutely. That's a trend we want to get Javante away from, is those interceptions. Tahir back to punt this one. Tahir with a high-hanging punt. Ball is bobbled.
That's a turnover, maybe.
And who comes up with the ball? Fargo comes up with the ball. Big turnover there. Just when the Invaders needed something good to happen, they get it in a muffed punt.
Chaz Moore with the ball.
Absolutely. So we're inside the 30-yard line. 14:53 to go in the fourth quarter. Sets up the Invaders at the Stampede 28-yard line. Now in an area where they can hopefully get back into the end zone.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Fargo. They needed a big play, something to spark the Invaders, because everything up to that point here in the second half has been Sioux City. Big play there. Now the offense has to cash in.
Absolutely. Johnson back. Takes a snap looking to pass, rolling to his right. Ooh. Johnson tried to just tuck that one and run. Had a lot of green room there. Unfortunately, number 11, Tyree Kemp is there.
That's an excellent play from Kemp to wrap him down.
Gain about a yard and a half or two. Our view is obstructed of the chain gang, so can't quite tell. So 2nd and 8 for the Invaders. Johnson tried to get the slant pattern across the middle to Irby. Big paw came up at the line of scrimmage and knocked that pass down. Never got there to him.
Big play now for the Invaders. Fargo needs something. Down by 8 here in the fourth quarter. Just underway in the fourth. Big third down.
Fargo, with the position they're in, probably not really thinking field goal here. Probably thinking 2 plays to get a first down. Another false start on the offensive line for the Invaders. Now it's back to having those untimely penalties. So that backs them up 5 yards, making it a little more difficult to convert on third down. So 3rd and 13. Is that my computer?
It's mine.
Oh.
I don't really know why it's doing that.
What did you got? Must have got a message.
I did, from Nate King. He wants to let you know that you're mediocre at best.
Oh my gosh!
Former general manager.
Like he's even here.
Right.
So 3rd and 13 for the Invaders here in the fourth quarter.
Look for Bounty maybe. No.
Javante's got to get rid of it.
Corner route.
Out of bounds.
Oh.
Pass completed to John Bounty. Just not enough room on that one.
Ran a post corner route, it looks like, and caught the ball just out of bounds.
That's the 2nd time today that the Invaders have had completed touchdown passes, but they were completed out of bounds. So 4th and 13 now. Invaders in a sticky situation here. Down 8.
Offense on the field.
Timeout called by the Invaders. Want to talk this over and see what they want to do. They are out of the range of Lazan to here. 32 would be 39, would be a 49-yard field goal. His team record is 49. Maybe he's kicked a longer one than that when he was in college or high school. Unfortunately, some of us that are associated with the team, both players and in management, high school and college was a long time ago. So he might not quite have the leg he once did. Not saying he could make a 49-yarder. I know Lazan's a very good kicker, but I would think that the team is probably going to consider going for it here.
It is 4th and long. I think that's the issue. But at this point, you're in the fourth quarter, down 8. I think you got to go.
Yep. So last I checked, there wasn't much for scoring updates in the NEFL. But last I checked, the St. Paul Pioneers were leading the Granite City Renegades 7-0 at the end of the first. And now it is 26-0 in that game in St. Paul. So 4th down and 13 for the Invaders. Johnson and the Invaders offense still on the field. Johnson with time. Throws it out there.
Pass interference? No.
No. Sioux City players are pointing at the Invaders. We'll see what the penalty flag is, and it looks like the defense is running off the field.
He had time to throw the ball that time. Stepped up in the pocket.
Look to complete that pass to John Bounty. So that'll set up the Stampede with 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line, I believe.
On consecutive drives, Fargo able to I mean, they had a chance. Remember on their last drive, they were inside the 40, and they were inside the 40 again on this drive, but just unable to find the end zone.
Mm-hmm. So take that back. It's the 32-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Stampede at their own 32-yard line. Fargo in need of getting the ball back. Only a one-score game, but however, the momentum of this game is severely shifted. And it's one of those times where it feels like the Invaders need to get the ball back and get it back quickly. Handoff up the middle to Taylor.
Smith on the tackle.
Rumbling up the middle for a good gain.
Smith for the Invaders.
The Invaders' defense has either been taken advantage of with those quick passes or now being run up the middle now because the defense is worried about that pass. Trying to throw this pass. Under pressure. Down he goes. Taken down by Jameis Neal on the sack. Taken down at the 30-yard line. Loss of about 8 on that play.
And that's what he does. He uses his speed to make plays, and another big play for Jameis Neal coming off the edge. Loss of 8 on the play.
So 3rd and 10 for the Stampede now. Trips to the left. Valentine's running to the, hands it off to the running back, runs to the outside, taken down by Jermaine Armstrong for a loss on the play. Loss of a couple. That'll bring up 4th and 12 as the clock hits the 13-minute mark in the 4th quarter.
Armstrong read the jet sweep perfectly on that play.
And executed the tackle perfectly. Great tackle.
Absolutely. That's been one of the problems on the Invaders' defense today. Their tackling has been less than perfect, obviously, because they've been able to break away from these tackles and continue running. So now 4th down. Back to punt once again is Mike Trobow.
Along with Quan Priestley, deep for the Invaders.
Two Invaders back to return this punt. One on each side. Kicks it. Priestley returns it and muffs it, but falls on top of it, thankfully.
Line drive punt. A difficult one to handle, but Fargo now a chance. Still plenty of time to play. Trailing by 8 with 12:16 to play in the 4th. 17-9 the score. Sioux City in front.
So the Invaders will start this possession at their own almost 43-yard line. So good field position to start. Just they need to make something happen and obviously keep that going. Right, Franco?
I'm good. I just yawned, so I was going to mute myself.
Oh, I wish you would mute yourself more often than that.
Right?
Gosh, ridiculous.
I've given up on trying to fix the scoreboard.
All right.
So
But as long as it keeps score, that's
it's
kinda
keeping score. So
kind of what it does.
There we are.
12:16 to go in the 4th quarter here. Johnson swings it out. Chaz Moore, trick play. Oh. Chaz Moore on the lateral out to him, tries to get the ball down to John Bowney, who was open. Unfortunately, underthrew it because he was under some pressure there. Once Moore caught the pass, the tackler was there to try and make the play, and he had to rush that throw. Had he been able to step into that one, he might have been able to connect with John Bowney. Then who knows what happens.
Great play call. The problem was Moore. He just took way too much time to throw the ball.
Yep, exactly. Johnson back. Wants to throw it again. Throws it behind Kevin Irby. Kevin Irby didn't get his head around on that one.
Irby wasn't ready for that one. Goes behind him.
So 3rd and 10 now.
I've talked about this multiple times. Early down issues for Fargo. And again, another 3rd down and long for the Invaders. Not where you want to be.
Nope. So we're back inside the 5-yard line for the Stampede. Handoff up the middle, fakes the throw, gets to the outside, tries to dive in, taken down at about the 1 or 2 yard line. So we'll bring up 2nd and goal. So the Stampede bring in their jumbo set, trying to punch this one in, kind of seal things up the way the Fargo Invaders offense has gone today. Things would look pretty grim if they get in the end zone.
He got stopped, though.
Stopped. Looked like a loss of a yard on that play.
Nice play by Derek Alexander that time.
So 3rd and goal now for the Stampede.
Derek Alexander leading the charge for the Invaders on the play.
Stampede will let the clock run here. Take their time before they attempt to try and get this ball in the end zone one more time. The second half has been a complete well, I can't say
the first
complete.
half was, too, because they turned it over 5 times in the first half.
I was going to say complete difference because the Fargo Invaders defense had played so well. Unfortunately, in the second half, the defense has not been able to keep the Stampede out of the end zone. They've had 2 very good drives to retake the lead and then extend the lead. And then now, with 6:03 remaining on the clock, taking a timeout here, trying to punch in that last touchdown that could pretty much possibly seal this game. With 6 minutes to go, the Invaders just, when they've got things going on offense, eventually there's a turnover of some sort that kind of come back to haunt them. And they've had multiple possessions where they really ran hardly any time off the clock because it was pass, incomplete, pass, incomplete, pass, incomplete. And the turnover bug has been, it's been biting Javante Johnson all over today. 1
6
fumble.
interceptions. Wow.
1 fumble. I want to say it might almost be 7. No, it's only 6. 19
Only 6.
Yeah, 19 out of 45, 185 yards. Had a touchdown to John Bonney early to give the Invaders the lead, but has thrown 6 interceptions since. A number of those didn't hurt in the first half due to the fact that they were thrown away deep, almost kind of like punts. Unfortunately, there was a couple times when the Invaders had opportunities to score and turn the ball over. And now this last turnover off a tipped pass that went over the hands of the intended receiver ended up in the Sioux City Stampede defenders' hands, set them up for this possession. Draw up the middle.
I think this is a
and
touchdown.
I think he's going to be in.
No, maybe not.
Maybe not. We're waiting to see. There are 2 officials are talking to each other. Now they eventually do say it's touchdown. So Sioux City goes up 23-9 now.
I'll just say that that's the same official that called the bounty catch an incomplete pass. Just saying.
Okay. Not favorable calls today. The Sioux City players are obviously enjoying the.
I'm not blaming if we do lose on the officials, but
The official didn't throw 6 interceptions.
I will say there are 4 officials out there, and one was the only one calling a touchdown on that.
Yep. Sioux City's a tough place to play, folks. The Invaders lost Gregory Clark today to a broken leg in the first half. And unfortunately, this has not been a friendly place for Javante Johnson to throw the ball today.
And it's just been a nightmare of a second half. 20 straight points, looking for 21 right here.
Extra point is blocked. And that remains, the score remains 23-9. So 2 touchdown game for the Fargo Invaders.
This is taunting here.
The kicker is pointing to the scoreboard. It seems as though that the sportsmanship level that we had in the first half
has gone away.
It's gone away, where it's a lot of jawing back and forth between the 2 teams. And this isn't exactly this isn't a long-term rivalry. This isn't, last year we played the St. Paul Pioneers 3 times. We We played the Minneapolis Warriors twice, and we played them again already. So we've played those teams 3 times already. This is only the second meeting ever between these two teams. And last year, I keep pointing out the fact that last year's game was not really the Fargo Invaders up here or down here playing, since most of their team either was gone from that game in a non-league game, which in semi-pro football, if it's a non-league game, there's not as much emphasis put on it. Plus the fact we had a number of injuries last year as well. So it wasn't really the team that I had been accustomed to seeing play last year to come down here. And now this year, obviously a big turn of events, 20 straight points, as you said, for the Sioux City Stampede to take a 23-9 lead late here in the 4th quarter. Is the scoreboard working at all anymore, Franco? I don't know if you can adjust the score for our viewers at home. 5:55 to go in the 4th. Somber tone has come over the Invaders side of the press box here. So that
you had 30 Stampede players pointing toward the scoreboard, which is totally a taunting call.
And dancing, I might add, too.
That just doesn't make sense to me,
and
but okay.
Wait, so why are they kicking at the 50?
Because we got a personal foul for unsportsmanlike conduct on us, as opposed to anybody else.
It seems a little backwards to me, but what do I know? I'm just a visitor here.
Huh.
So kicking off from the 50-yard line is Lehman. Jordan Perkins at his own end zone to try and return this one. This one kicks it deep into the end zone.
What?
And Perkins is gonna bring it out, try to make a play. And penalty flag goes down as he's taken out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Wow, they're going to really call an illegal block in the back right there.
They're calling the block?
Yep. Which was barely touched him. That guy on that sideline really loves to call the
the real question is, why would you bring it out of the 8 yards?
You take
that's the bigger question.
That's a big question there. Jordan Perkins takes the ball basically at the back of the end zone, tries to bring it out, trying to make a play. Unfortunately, in these type of situations, one play is not going to change the outcome of a game right here at the way things are going.
I cannot believe he made that call.
So 5:47 remaining. Score remains 23-9. Fargo backed up inside their 5-yard line now. We'll see what they try and do to get a drive going. We'll see if they try to be conservative or they're going to continue to try and throw it deep.
I think they have to. I mean,
throws it up, gets it to Constant Jackson, who's out of bounds past the 10-yard line.
Johnson's pass complete to Jackson.
So they mark it out of bounds at about the 10. I believe that's a gain of about 5 or 6. Okay. I think they were inside the 5 after that penalty.
Second down and 4 for the Invaders.
2nd and 4. Fargo trails 23-9 with 5:41 to go in the game. Johnson looking to pass, swings it out of the backfield once again for Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones makes one man miss, but there's 2 other mans miss. He breaks those 2 tackles, stiff arms a man, still going. Taken out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. Enough for a Fargo Invaders first down.
Excellent effort there to break a couple of tackles there. And then forced out of bounds, which is good too. Stops the clock with 5:32 to play in the game.
So Johnson back to pass one more time. Under pressure, gets it out. Not enough arm on that one. Wasn't able to really step into that throw, I think, because of the 2 ends coming around, putting pressure on Johnson. Tried to get that one to Constant Jackson. Clock stops with 5:29. Stranger things have happened.
Incomplete pass brings up second down.
Still time, but you're going to have to make a big play here late.
Johnson looking to pass, throws it out.
No, he's not even trying anymore.
Did not see Nick Jackson. He threw it to a spot where he thought he was going to be. I think there's defensive linemen there obstructing his view a little bit.
Flag on the play.
Free first down now for Fargo.
Defensive holding. Oh, so it's an offside. Not Not a defensive holding. So 2nd and 5.
5:26 left in the game.
After the penalty, 2nd down and 5 for the Invaders.
3 by 1, 3 by 1, 3 by 1.
So Johnson trying to get things going again here. Having a bit of a rough afternoon. Gets it out, bubble screen to Kevin Irby. Makes one man miss and then gets it out to about the 25-yard line.
Big hit at the 25.
Mm-hmm.
Trenton Jones on the tackle.
By Trenton Jones.
So 3rd and about 3 or 4 here, with coming up on the 5-minute mark remaining in the 4th quarter.
A 3rd down and 3.
Johnson draw play to Brandon Jones trying to get that 1st down.
Close to it.
Ball carrier.
I think he's going to need a couple more. So that's 4th down. This is about it for the Invaders if they don't get this 1st down. 4:43 and counting.
Up a 4th down and 1.
So 4th and short for the Invaders, trying to convert on 4th down.
Get up quick. Punch, punch, boundary, punch to the boundary.
Offsides.
Flag on the play.
False start.
As the referees walk all the way across the field to talk to each other, decide who it's on. I think it's on the Stampede, the way Bear Adams pointed. That's a 1st down for the Invaders to keep the drive going.
We had Bonnie 1-on-1 on the near side here.
Mm-hmm.
Press coverage. That was a favorable matchup for us.
Under 4 to play now.
Warren Joyner.
He just waved it going.
After the penalty, 1st down and 10 for the Invaders on their own 33.
So Johnson looking to pass, gets the pass off outside to John Bonney. That is complete. And the clock is, I believe, yep, still running. So pass complete, caught and out to the 47-yard line. Although, as the Fargo Invaders fan, I will say that that pass was a bit low.
Yeah.
So I think after that interception that looked like it would have been incomplete from up here, I guess they had to give him that one as complete. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders. Draw play to Brandon Jones, running hard out to the left-hand side. Still going down the sideline.
All right, Brandon Jones.
There he goes, out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Nice run by Brandon Jones for another Fargo Invaders 1st down, 3:15 remaining.
Bursting down the sideline there for Jones.
Absolutely nice burst by Brandon there down the sidelines. Still fighting, still trying to make things happen.
Still time, too. 3:15 to play, 23-9 the score.
Quan Priestley checks in the game at running back. Johnson gets the ball off.
That's a touchdown.
Throws it out for John Bonney, cannot quite get it.
Just a step too far.
He had him, too,
10 for the Invaders
on a fade to Bounty. Not able to convert.
John Bonney had a step on the defender down the sideline. And once again, Johnson and Bounty cannot quite connect. Bonney been held in check today.
Except for the touchdown early, you're right.
There's the stats update for me. He's at 6 catches, 92 yards now after that catch in the 1st down run previously. And that pass is complete to Constant Jackson, who's running down the field hard.
Johnson's pass.
Don't believe he got out of bounds, did he?
Driven out of bounds by Dexel Gordon.
He's out of bounds. That's no, I guess not. He is out of bounds. All right. Clock is stopped. 3 minutes to go. 3rd and 5, I believe, for the Invaders. Draw to Quan Priestley, trying to make things happen. Gets taken down at the 35 or 25-yard line, excuse me. So it'll be 4th down now. Clock is under 3 minutes, almost at the 2.5-minute mark remaining. Johnson with time. Throws it complete to Kevin Irby. Touchdown. You betcha. Fargo Invaders, touchdown.
Slant wide open, too, was Irby. No one around him. Irby's been quiet, but big play late. Maybe just get one more stop. Problem is, no timeouts. No,
I
no,
think
they
they
got
have
a
two
couple.
timeouts, 2:27 remaining in the game. The score is now 23-15. Fargo is going to attempt the extra point here. Unless they can't be going for two. There's no reason to go for two.
No, it's an 8-point game right now.
Yeah, but it was a 14-point game before. Why is coach going for two? Anyone have an answer to that?
Go for the win. Who needs a tie?
Well, you're down by 8 points. 2 points here is not going to change anything.
Well,
Score another touchdown in your head.
no.
Yeah,
And the 2-point conversion. It's no good.
I'm kind of perplexed by that one. 23-15 the score. You kick the extra point. You're only a touchdown down with an extra point.
Well, you're still a touchdown down.
Yeah.
So,
I don't understand the going for 2 points there.
yeah, that's
I don't know how that benefited us because I don't know if you're planning on onside kicking and get the ball back twice for 2 field goals or what the deal is.
Will be off next weekend. But on June 2nd, they will travel to play the Minnesota
So for those of you tuning in, the Fargo Invaders trail 23-15 right now, 2:27 remaining in the game.
here at Memorial Field.
And next weekend, the Fargo Invaders have a bye week due to Memorial Day weekend. Everybody will be off, I believe, in the league. I think there might actually be
is
one game.
true.
There's one game next weekend. I forgot which one it was. Let me look.
It's gonna be a non-league game, right?
Yep, it's a non-league game. It's the Minnesota Vipers will be at the Stanley Cowboys, I believe. That'll be on Saturday the 26th at 5 p.m. Currently, though, the Stampede are leading the Fargo Invaders 23-15 late in the fourth. The Pioneers beat the Granite City Renegades 50-0. And currently, the Minneapolis Warriors are up 7-0 on the Milwaukee County Chargers, and the Med City Freeze lead the Minnesota Vipers 7-0. Those games are both early on, I believe. I think we had a 4 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, a 6 o'clock game, and then a 7 o'clock game.
looks like the hands team is on.
Yep. Onside kick attempt now for the Invaders.
Stampede, number 31, Phil Collins.
Good
Ball
bounce.
takes a good bounce, but however, nice play by the defender. Or the return man there, I guess you'd say.
Two timeouts left.
He ran backwards and was able to just get underneath that ball as it popped up.
Well, that's almost as good as you want to have it.
Mm-hmm. So 2:25 to go. 2 timeouts remaining for the Invaders. 2 timeouts for the Stampede. So 2:25 to go. Fargo needs something big to happen right here. They need a fumble, an interception. Scoop and score would be perfect. Got to get the ball back regardless. Valentine back to take the snap. Handoff up the middle. There goes James. Takes it out to the 45. Mark him at the 46-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 4. Clock is running. Going to stop at the 2-minute warning.
I still like Fenton Steeler too, Coach.
So Stampede will let this clock run all the way to the 2-minute warning. And there it is. 2 minutes remaining in the game. 23-15 your score. Sioux City leads Fargo. One more read before we go. I want to read the one that was the new one that we hadn't been doing until this week. It's tailgatemaster.com. He's always at every home game for the Fargo Invaders, which will be June 2nd, Saturday evening, against the Med City Freeze. Invaders fan, the fun doesn't have to end when the game is over. Take the tailgate home with you. Grab your phone right now and, oh wait, you're on your phone already. Good. Tell Siri to bookmark tailgatemaster.com. Visit the brand new tailgating lots and share your thoughts about the game or get inspired to try something new in the smoker or on your grill. Hundreds of free recipes and many, many things wrapped in bacon. Tailgatemaster.com. Valentine hands it off up the middle. James nowhere to go.
Neal on the tackle with Wallow, it looks like, and Alexander combining.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down. Fargo with 1 more timeout remaining.
I would call a timeout here, wouldn't
They
you?
did. So 3rd down. need to stop the Stampede on this play, force them to punt the ball. They could potentially go for it on 4th down if they get a couple yards on this play.
I'm not sure if you would, though. I mean, that's kind of risky.
It is, but with the way the Fargo Invaders offense is played today, you might be willing to gamble and take that chance that even if you turn the ball back over to them at your own 45-yard line, that you can prevent them from scoring. Javante now is up to, as it refreshes,
A couple of touchdowns on the night for Javante. The problem is the 6 interceptions.
Last of the shows 21 to 48 for 200 yards, a touchdown, and 6 interceptions. So you got 2 touchdowns now. 3rd down, handoff up the middle. Invaders make the stop. Looks to be 4th and 2 for the Stampede. The Invaders use their last timeout of the day. Score is 23 to 15, 1:49 remaining in the game. We'll see what the Stampede do. I think they're going to bring out their kicking team and punt this ball away. Rely on their defense one more time.
Either way, Fargo will have a chance. They'll get the ball back inside a couple minutes.
Now the key also here is for the Invaders is no silly penalties. No roughing the kicker or anything like that. Although if you get a hand on that ball and block that punt, scoop it and score, and then see what you can do on a 2-point conversion attempt. And as Sioux City gets ready to line up to kick this one away, Josh Gatling and Quan Priestley are back to punt this away. So the Invaders got to make sure they don't jump off sides or anything, because they are within that 5-yard range of if they go jump off sides, they'll get 5 yards and automatic 1st down. Been a bit of a long day today, Franco.
It's been a long day.
Early morning, get up, get everything organized, drive all the way down here, and then
It's going to be a long night, too.
Yeah, game started at 4 o'clock today. We're at 7:30, so we're at the 3.5-hour mark today. Part of the delay, obviously, was our defensive end, Gregory Clark, number 90, suffered a broken leg. He's tuning into the game right now from the ER as he is undergoing treatment there. So 1:49 to go. Sioux City will line up to punt this one away. They might also try and get the Invaders to try and jump off sides to give them a 1st down and end this thing. So Mike Trobow back to punt it again. Almost got that block.
Low punt.
Low punt there as it rolls.
Don't touch it. Why is the clock not running? Run the clock. Hurry.
No timeouts remaining. 1:45 on the clock for the Fargo Invaders, trying to make something big happen here at the end of this game.
We don't have timeouts, so if they go down in bounds, we got to be
We have 2 timeouts left.
So 1:45 to go. Fargo in need of a miracle here. A rough outing today from Javante Johnson. And the biggest one was that last interception, I would think, Alex, that was returned and set them up in good field position that eventually got him that touchdown. That's the difference right now.
I agree, and I think in the 3rd and 4th quarters especially, Fargo on defense, they forced a couple of mistakes as well, but just unable to capitalize.
Yep. Johnson rolling to his right, trying to find a man downfield.
Good
Caught.
throw.
Get up, Jackson. I need to call him down. Go. On 1st down, a completed pass, a gain of 8 yards.
But you got to go. Get.
They're running the clock right now.
Oh, hurry!
What are they?
Clock is running.
They've got a.
They are totally confused right now.
Javante got injured on that play. Was slow to get up.
Well, they called it.
Gain of 8 brings up 2nd down and 2.
2nd and 2 for the Invaders.
Lost a lot of time there, though.
Nope. Pass incomplete, broken up. Intended for John Bowney.
Bounty on the play.
Stops the clock at least, but only a minute and 6 seconds to play. Lost about 30 seconds on that play.
Usually when a player is
It's
down,
down. The
and
official will
injured,
stop the clock.
they'll at
but
least stop the clock for the time being, and then when he's
back on
well
the ball,
enough to
they'll
get
start
ready
it.
to go.
Yep.
1 for the Invaders.
And that didn't happen that time.
Nope. Johnson back getting pressure. Throws it out. Oh.
Oh, almost made the catch, too.
Constant Jackson could not get his head turned around to locate that one, as that was probably one of the best-looking deep balls that Johnson has thrown today. Unfortunately for the Invaders, it goes all for naught.
Would have been a huge play, but now 4th and 1 coming for Fargo.
Jackson needed to locate that one sooner. If you'd have been able to locate that one sooner, maybe you could have made a play on it. So the Invaders only got 1 minute remaining in the game. Need to at least get a yard or two on this play to get the first down. Pass completed to Kevin Irby over the middle. Still running hard, still going. Kevin Irby taken
That's
down at the
Jackson.
49-yard. Oh, Nick Jackson, my bad. It's Nick Jackson. That's Nick. Mr. Jackson. if you're
Mr.
nasty.
Jackson.
Now they got it inside the 50.
1st and 10, clock running. Johnson gonna have to make something happen here very quickly.
Oh, Nick.
Nick Jackson had it in his hands and dropped it.
The problem, though, he was in the middle of the field, too,
Yep.
so either way, they would have to hurry.
Hurry up and spike that ball or something. I mean, that's probably part of the reason that Nick was that wide open over the middle, was the fact that they would prefer if Fargo completes passes inside, in the middle. Pass. Ooh.
Underthrown.
Underthrown. Pass intended for Kevin Irby, who was open there. Once again, he's too far away from the sidelines to be able to get out of bounds.
I think you had Brandon Jones in the flat down here.
Did you? So 3rd and 10 now from the 49-yard line of the Sioux City Stampede. 34.7 seconds remaining. 8-point game. Invaders need to score almost immediately and then try and convert a 2-point conversion and force overtime. Irby and Jackson to the right, Jackson and Bowney to the left. Johnson looking to pass it quick.
Oh.
Threw it off his back foot and is picked off and intercepted by the Stampede. Picked off by number 9, Courtney Wortman.
That's 7 interceptions.
That puts a cap on today's day for Javante Johnson. Really threw that one off his back foot, and that linebacker was sitting right there in the middle. And that's going to put a bow on this game for the Stampede. They lead 23-15 with 25.2 seconds remaining in the game. They're just going to have to go out there one time and take a knee.
Stampede fans, don't forget to high five your favorite player.
A nice comeback by the Stampede in the second half. Things started off kind of shaky for the Invaders in that 3rd quarter on that first return of the second half, when the ball just kind of kept squibbing along, kind of caught the team off guard, started that possession at the 10-yard line and couldn't get anything going there. And then Sioux City figured a few things out and got their offense running. And there's a knee taken by Ballantyne, and the clock's going to run out on this Saturday here in May down in Sioux City, Iowa, where the Sioux City Stampede defeat the Fargo Invaders 23-15 in Week 2 of the NEFL. The Sioux City Stampede raised their record to 3-0, and the Fargo Invaders dropped to 2-1 on this early season. I want to remind everybody that next week there will be no game for the Fargo Invaders. The next game will be a home game June 2nd at Sid Cichy Stadium on the campus of Fargo Shanley High School, where the Fargo Invaders will host the Med City Freeze. So let's wrap things up, guys. Alex, your thoughts on today's game?
Well, I think it turned out to be a competitive game. It really was. I think, obviously, you're going to look at those 8 turnovers. That's probably, I mean,
That's
You can't overcome that.
how
I mean,
are you going to win
no.
a game like that? So, but I thought at times on defense, I thought they were great, especially in the first half. And then second half, big interception for Gatlin. But the problem is every time they made a play, just a turnover just hurt them.
Absolutely. I think that to start off that game, oops, I think it's this card here. It's that. So I think that those turnovers, I mean, they they really kind of set the tone on missed opportunities when the Fargo Invaders had opportunities to score, and they had those true turnovers in the red zone against the Sioux City Stampede. Those are two trips that if you even get a couple field goals, you know, you're up to 21 points, and you're much closer. You only need a field goal to win this game, and unfortunately, those interceptions, the last couple interceptions, were even bigger for Javante Johnson and the team because they were returned.
Well, I thought in the first half, too, you've got to remember, the Invaders were up 9-3, and they had some chances, too, to maybe extend that lead.
Yep, exactly.
In that second quarter. So that's a big storyline, too. A couple of highlights, though. Great catch for John Bounty on his touchdown.
Absolutely.
Held in check in the second half, though. And then for Gatlin, big interception. So awesome job there. But I think just a good team effort also for the Stampede in the second half.
Absolutely. Franco, what are your thoughts on today's game?
It was a rough game. It was a rough day for us. You know, it's hard to come down here and just not perform the way that I think that we would have liked to offensively. I think that we came out in the first half and made some plays, and in the second half it just didn't seem like our offense was underneath us at all. So I think that's really tough. I think the thing that I want to do the most is again, think about Greg Clark, who broke his leg today. You know, prayers and thoughts are out to you. And also back with Rochnell John Baptiste. You know, one of the founding members of the Fargo Invaders, thinking about him, praying for him as he gets stronger in his recovery. So, Raj, still listening. We're still thinking.
Absolutely. We're thinking and praying of you, Raj. Obviously, you too, Greg. We're thinking and praying for you to have a speedy recovery. Obviously, it was great, obviously, to have the start to the season that Greg had. Unfortunately, it appears now that his season has unfortunately come to an end here in May. But still, there's a lot of football left in this season, and not a real solid performance from the offense today. They were held in check by a very good Sioux City defense. A lot of that was kind of self-inflicted a little bit. However, the defense played at times up to their usual standard. I mean, I think two of the scores from Sioux City today, the one touchdown and the one field goal, were kind of direct results of turnovers from the offense. Otherwise, they had basically two decent drives on offense, and the rest of the time the Invaders defense kind of did what they do, and that's lock teams down and don't allow them to do much. So unfortunately today they come out on the short end of the stick here in Sioux City, Iowa, and unfortunately it's going to make for a long ride home for the Invaders. But like I said, a lot of season left to play. There's, I believe, 5 games this coming June. The next 2 are at home in Fargo. Tough place to play. The Fargo Invaders haven't lost a game there in the last couple of years. They hopefully intend to keep it that way. So the Med City Freeze is on June 2nd. June 9th, they host the St. Paul Pioneers. Then they hit the road again for back-to-back weeks. Well, they'll travel to La Crosse, Wisconsin to take on the River City Rough Riders for the first match between those two franchises. And then the following week, they'll head down to St. Cloud, Minnesota to take on the Granite City Renegades. And then they'll finish off that month against, I'm drawing a blank. Do you remember the last one?
It's not
Is
City.
it the Minnesota Vipers that week?
It might be
June
the
3rd?
Vipers, yeah.
It's either the Minnesota Vipers. Yeah, I believe it's the Minnesota Vipers, because then in July they host the Minnesota Storm over in Moorhead, and they also host the Hudson Thunderhawks at some point.
Gotcha.
I'd have to forget. Alex, where can people hear your lovely voice calling these baseball games?
It'll be at yourfortdodge.com. So, yeah, start on Monday. So, hey guys, it's been fun.
So great to have you here.
So,
thanks for reaching out to us.
No, it's been awesome, and
it's Hudson.
I wish you guys played a little closer to Iowa.
Exactly.
More often, but
well, every once in a while in Iowa's not too bad, but it's kind of been it's about 9 hours drive time today, so it's a bit of a ways. I want to stand corrected. The June 30th game will be against the Hudson Thunderhawks. So a lot of season, a lot of time left to play. There could very well be a rematch between these two teams down the road, and you know what? If we get a better performance out of the offense, maybe it's a completely different story. So obviously, Alex, thanks so much for coming up, and we enjoyed having you up here with us. It was fun to have you back in the booth and see everything that we're kind of currently trying to do.
Working on.
We're trying to do better and better each time, and we'll obviously work towards getting this to be 100% zero defects kind of thing.
Well, awesome work, guys. I mean, a couple of years ago, we were just radio, and now you guys are all over the web. So you guys are
We're
Making
growing.
a lot of progress. So
Absolutely.
awesome work, guys.
Awesome. So I want to say thanks again for tuning in. Obviously, once again, we apologize for our intermittent problems here and there based on coverage of cell phones, computer issues, whatever the case may be. But we will be back broadcasting June 2nd, come hell or high water, from Fargo, North Dakota. So for Matthew F1 Franco, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel because I think that's our jam now.
Yep, we're going to be on YouTube. We'll post links, obviously, on the Fargo Invaders Facebook page. But for Matthew F1 Franco, Alex Benzagala, and myself, Jace Denman, we will see you next time. Yeah, you betcha. Bye.